What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. A couple of things we got to talk about first, because big news dropped last week in the world of wrestling, which was news pertaining to Owen Hart. Owen Hart's name is back up, and we're like, no, Martha Hart's not still in WWE again, or it's not no new Dark Side of the Ring Part 2.
Hey, I resent your tone.
But if y'all gotta see a Dark Side of the Ring episode, I resent your tone. But news here is, it made me so happy. Like, it literally, I was out dashing when I heard this news. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this on the podcast. Because it seems like every time me and Prime do the podcast, we do the podcast on Sundays. And most of the time, if things get away on Sunday, we do it early Monday morning. And things just be dropping after the podcast is done. So after we was on the podcast, like the next day, bam, they dropped this Owen Hart news on us. Or later that day. And I was just like, well, we got to wait a whole other week to talk about this, Joe. But we're going to talk about it because AEW partners with the Owen Hart Foundation and his family to celebrate his legacy. So some people maybe think, well, you already know because it's been a week, but, to go over the logistics of it, AEW is partnered with the family of Owen Hart to honor the late pro wrestling legend's legacy. So, it wasn't, not on Monday, so it was right after we've done the podcast. The Owen Hart Foundation will include an establishment of an AEW tournament called the Owen Hart Cup. So, WWE has their own tournaments with the Dusty Cup, which is kind of messed up because Cody and all the family is over in AEW, but they still get to use the Dusty Cup. But now they got something called the Owen Hart Cup, which will be a tournament. I don't know when this tournament is supposed to take place. I'm hoping like next year, so we can get a fresh start. Don't try to squeeze nothing into it this year. And I hope it's like one of them tournaments, like it's like a 32-man tournament where we just break everything down. We can see.
It'll probably be 16.
It could be 16, but if you make it like a 32-person tournament and you do some tournament qualifications on like Elevation or Dark, that way you can try to get people to watch that show a little bit more also. Because
but if they have the qualifications for 32 men and they have it on Dark, it's gonna be like Joey Janela versus like Christian Cage, which is like, well, we already know what's going on here.
I'm not saying qualification match. I'm just saying like you pick out. Look, you got a roster. You can pick out 32 names. You can pick out 32 names of guys, and then you can sit there and like, okay, obviously you would get the those kind of lower matches like your Joey Janela versus Jungle Boys out the way. As Jungle Boy will probably go higher up the card, but he'll get Joey Janela out the way and stuff like that too. But or you could probably just do a 16-man, like however they want to do it. But I do believe that it'll get people behind it because it's an Owen Hart themed thing. And since they'll have his likeness, they can use, his picture and all his videos and stuff like that because they own all that stuff. Or they don't own it, they're in partnership with, the Hart Foundation to use all that stuff. I think they can make this a classy thing. And not only that, this tournament will be held annually, so it'll be like an annual thing. This will almost be like their King of the Ring in a way. But better.
Yeah.
Or even like their G1 for AEW, you think?
It won't be like their G1. If it's like their G1, then that'll be the best tournament in the whole world. But I will say, I think the winner of it should get like 2 small trophies, so they can hold in each hand like Owen did.
That would kind of be dope. Or like I said, you just play. Because first of all, I want them to treat it like a sports thing. Like I remember somebody said, can they treat it like the Stanley Cup, where you hold onto the cup and everything, and they engrave your name. Like I don't want them to do the Andre the Giant Memorial type thing, where they come out with that mustard colored trophy. every time they have a match and it just at ringside and they use it as a prop to beat people up with it. No, I want them to actually like have a legit trophy in their house, and you know, you can keep adding on to it. So if somebody is a 2-time Owen Hart champion, Owen Hart, you know, Cup champion, then they can have the 2 trophies in their hand that way. I'm a 2-time. That's how you do it. Oh, you don't rush to Owen like that, but if you have it like that, they get a trophy, and then they hold on to it, and then like next year they win it again. And like I'm a 2-time, you know, trophy contest. It's just kind of like, you know, having sports with their rings and stuff like that. You can have more than one ring. Instead, you know, hold it like that. I think that would be dope.
I do think that they will have something. I don't think it's going to be the actual trophy, but I think it has something to carve their name on. So maybe a plaque.
That'd be good too.
Or something. Like somewhere they have a plaque and they engrave their name on it, but then the person have the actual trophy.
Yeah. But then there's also going to be the thing of who will the first winner go to? Because
Jungle Boy.
You know, I was thinking Jungle Boy, but I was like, but what if it's like Jericho or Kevin Steen?
It'll be Jungle Boy.
Because I'm like, because look, Kevin Owens, you know, is a big fan of Owen Hart due to the Owens and his name of his son Owen, and Chris Jericho's, you know, there too. And Chris Jericho played a large part in getting this whole thing together. And I'm like, to get some heel heat, I would think that they would try to you'll probably put a heel over first. And if Kevin Owens leaves in January of next year, early January, he can the first thing to make his mark, he can come in and win that Owen Hart Cup.
I mean, I would like Jericho to win it, but I don't think he needs any more of those kind of accolades.
I don't think Jericho does. I'm saying, but what about Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen?
I mean, I think that would be nice for him, but Steen, okay, I think Steen is already like made. Not to say that Jungle Boy is not, but Jungle Boy is still very young, and Steen can literally come in and challenge for the world title tomorrow, and everybody will be behind him. Even though everybody's behind Jungle Boy, he's still kind of young, and every win he gets is something like this gets a bigger and bigger audience. So I could see somebody like Jungle Boy or Darby winning
it. Yeah, that would be cool. But you know, but to also, you know, advance the storyline. Like, imagine if the finals was like Jungle Boy and Kevin Steen, and then Kevin Steen being the heel, he goes over, but that it's like giving the rub to Jungle Boy though, and he can still get a look from like making it all the way to the tournament to the finals, and then. But I mean, I do love the idea of Jungle Boy having it too, because I think that they want to push him to be the next contender once he gets away from the whole Luchasaurus and the Jurassic Express stuff. So
yes,
you know,
I would say, I'm going to say
also,
whoever wins
it's
it,
like,
it's going to be a homegrown.
But it's yeah, I would like to be a homegrown too. But I also think that Adam Cole's going to give Jungle Boy the rub also.
You talking about this week?
Is he going against him this week?
Yeah.
No. Adam Cole, Jungle Boy not win the first match. He gonna win the rivalry, but he not gonna win the first match.
Okay.
Yeah, but so you know, it all depends how they work. But you know, a homegrown talent would be good. But the question is, like, every time they have like in wrestling, no matter what company it is, every time they have like this big tournament, something like that, they usually make the heels go over for some reason. I don't know why they did. Like, even MJF, when it was about the whole ring, you know, fighting for the ring, he won the ring back the first year AEW, and I'm like, okay,
2 times.
Yeah. So, and if you want, Owen Hart was a heel, you know, also. So if you want somebody to hold the 2 trophies like Owen, then you would need the heel to go over. Jungle Boy's not doing that. But people got to don't forget, Owen Hart was a heel. Okay, and Owen Hart was a heel most of his career until like the last year he died, or 1998. Like after Brett got screwed over in '97, from 98 to his death, that's when Owen was like a true babyface. Other than that, Owen Hart was a heel. You know, we can't forget that. Also, that's not the only thing that's happening because along with this annual tournament, that AEW and Owen Hart Foundation will include a production of original Owen Hart merchandise, which means new shirts, new bags, new things with Owen Hart's name on it that they can sell from Pro Wrestling Tees. And you don't think people want to get their hands on an Owen Hart shirt?
Yeah, they'd be like the Owen Hart. It'd be like how Sting shirts are. It'd be like Owen Hart is all elite, or Owen Hart with the AEW logo at the bottom.
Exactly. Or get yourself an Owen Hart bomber jacket. Oh. You sit there thinking like, huh? Well, I mean, hey, if Sting can get a bomber jacket, why not Owen Hart? You know what I'm saying?
What if Pillman wins it, by the way?
Say what?
What if Pillman wins it?
That would be, you know what? That would be kind of dope too. I think they need to put some more heat on Pillman now. Like I'm talking about good heat on Pillman. But he's getting there though.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's gonna be. I'm thinking it's gonna be like Pillman, Darby, Cassidy, or Jungle Boy, because it's just
Cassidy, like Isaiah Cassidy.
No, Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy. Oh, okay.
Just homegrown people. That's all I'm just thinking about. My bad. Sorry.
Okay, no, I got excited when you talk about Isaiah Cassidy. So, but then of course I talked about it a little bit when it came out that he is also going to be featured as a character in AEW's console video game, which is in development, which they are still planning a 2022 release, late 2022. That's exciting. That is really exciting because, and then it's good that we get to share Owen, and you know, fans like us who knew Owen from back then can now. I mean, obviously he can't wrestle no more, but you can teach this younger generation who Owen Hart was, how good he really was, and you know, now that he can be featured and he can sell the merchandise, and then you know, they probably give it to the foundation, and then of course him being in the video game, all that stuff is just great news for his generation. Now there's some dickheads online that don't necessarily think so, and want to call out saying, well, Vince McMahon should sue Martha Hart. First of all, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Kill that noise. When I'm not gonna lie to you, the purpose is, look, the man in the mirror. When the whole Martha Hart, Bret Hart stuff, I was upset because I'm an Owen Hart fan. I watched Owen Hart back in the King of the Ring era. You know, saying him being a rival with his brother, to the Nation, to all that stuff, the Jeff Jarrett tag team, to the Shawn Michaels main event he never really got. You know, all that kind of stuff on Hart. And yes, I want him to be remembered. But once again, that company is responsible for his death. And if Martha Hart don't want to forget that company, who am I to say that she should forget that company? And especially after watching that dark side of the ring of Owen Hart and stuff like that, and like, you know, Vince McMahon is truly an asshole. I'm like, who am I? Because if anybody had died that young in your family, you would not want to deal. If you feel that somebody was responsible for that, you not want to deal with that person ever again, and you may take it out on a lot of other people as well. And if
I think
go ahead.
Jericho and Mark Henry really helped her push that decision.
Yeah.
Because obviously Mark Henry signed and had a big thing to do with it. He probably helped her, convinced her. Because Tony Khan said they've been talking about this for well over a year. About a year and a half, they've been talking about doing this.
Yeah.
And he said Martha is not a pushover. So Martha is going to get her ideas across and going to get her what she thinks should be done right with Owen across. And it took them a while to get it across, but they finally came on the decision, obviously, of what we got now.
Uh-huh. So that right there, I really believe that, you know, Owen Hart will be in good hands over here, and he would not have been in good hands at WWE. WWE would want to sell merchandise, whether it be video games and whether it be T-shirts, whether it be DVDs, whatever the case may be, or put himself on the network and all that stuff like that. But however, it would have been made money. They wouldn't have gave nothing to that foundation. Vince want all his money because if somebody's selling, he wants all the money, and then they'll just put him in the Hall of Fame just to put him in the Hall of Fame to make money. That's what WWE does. So, no, I'm glad it's going to go over AEW. I'm more confident with it being over at AEW, and shout out to Martha because, like I said, me being the fan of Owen Hart, I was upset because Owen Hart wasn't being recognized. But once again, who am I to even say how he should be recognized, especially of how the circumstances of how he died. The man's only 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad this thing went down with AEW. So how do you feel about it? Just to wrap it up.
I'm happy for it. I'm ready to see Owen in the game. I'm ready to see this cup. And I'm ready to see a lot of other things that they got coming up for Owen.
Owen versus Jericho is my first match right now. I already said that.
I almost misquoted you. I was about to say, wait, huh? Wait, all right. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was saying that console game, Owen versus Jericho was my first matchup because you got to think that they probably gonna put him as DLC. You did like a pre-order bonus. You don't think?
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Or maybe Kenny Omega feels as though like, yo, we don't do pre-orders over here. You just get the game, and they come. So I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to see what's in store.